Here's an analysis of the top 3 fights from UFC 317, blending recent history, fighter psychology, and stylistic matchups. With Islam Makhachev vacating the lightweight title to pursue the welterweight championship, the stage is set for a thrilling clash between Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira for the vacant belt. In the neon heart of Las Vegas, under the searing spotlight of UFC 317, 2 fighters step into the cage, not just to fight, but to define a legacy. Ilia Topuria walks in undefeated, 17 wins, 0 losses. The Georgian-Spanish phenom has cut through the featherweight division like a scalpel through silk. He silenced doubters with a surgical knockout of Alexander Volkanovski. Not long after, he sent Max Holloway tumbling to the canvas, a man previously known for being unbreakable. Topuria isn't just dangerous. He's confident, calm, almost unnervingly composed for someone so violent in the octagon. His boxing is crisp, his timing elite, and his takedown defense has evolved with every fight. But as he moves up to 155, he isn't just fighting for gold, he's fighting for immortality. And across the cage stands a man who's already been there, Charles Oliveira. Du Bronx, the UFC's all-time submission king. A man who's walked through fire, who's been written off more times than he can count, and still climbed to the top. He once submitted Dustin Poirier and knocked out Michael Chandler. He was the man who broke Tony Ferguson's streak. But in his rise, there were stumbles. Islam Makhachev exposed his vulnerabilities, and his chin hasn't always held up against elite strikers. Topuria's strengths? Power, precision, pressure. Oliveira's? Experience, chaos, submission traps lurking around every scramble. This isn't just striker versus grappler. It's ice versus fire. Discipline versus chaos. The future versus the past, with gold hanging in the balance. Prediction: Topuria keeps it standing, avoids the ground war, and wins by TKO in round 3. But if Oliveira drags him into deep waters, the jiu-jitsu shark, the battle of brains and brawlers. 2 fighters, 2 thinkers, 2 men who've studied the game inside and out, and now bring their philosophies to war. Beneil Dariush is a humble storm, a devout, disciplined fighter who's fought everyone and feared no one. But the years are starting to show. His last 2 fights ended with him flat on the mat. Arman Tsarukyan and Charles Oliveira didn't just beat him, they overwhelmed him. But he's not done yet. Beneil believes in redemption, in second chances, and at UFC 317 he gets one more. Renato Moicano, the sharp-tongued Brazilian known for his brutal honesty and sharper submissions, has found new fire. Once seen as a mid-tier contender, he's now a hungry, calculated killer with a mic in one hand and a chokehold ready in the other. Moicano is faster on the feet, slicker on the ground, and carries momentum. Dariush has the experience, the durability when it holds, and the kind of heart that can never be measured on a scorecard. Prediction: Moicano survives the early grappling exchanges and picks Dariush apart with slick counters. Decision win or a late submission. Chaos incoming. If elegance and wildness had a child, its name would be Paulo Costa. The eraser is back. Chiseled from stone and armed with knockout power, Costa is here to remind the world he's more than memes and Instagram antics. His war with Yoel Romero still echoes as one of the most insane slugfests in UFC history. But that was years ago. Since then, inconsistency, injuries, and questions about cardio have plagued him. Enter Roman Kopylov, the silent assassin. No flash, no trash talk, just results. His KO of Chris Curtis showed he doesn't need volume, just precision and patience. Kopylov is the technician to Costa's chaos. Where Costa throws bombs, Kopylov snipes. Costa has the power to end it in one. Kopylov has the poise to drag it deep and dissect the brawler. Prediction: if Costa can't get it done early, Kopylov might outclass him to a decision, or even finish him late. UFC 317 isn't just another number on the calendar. It's a fork in the road for many fighters. Will Topuria become the UFC's newest dual-division threat? Will Oliveira rise again? Can Dariush hold back the tide of a new generation? Is Costa still a contender, or just a highlight reel from the past? The answers come in the cage, and they won't be whispered. They'll be shouted in blood, sweat, and thunder.